So in fairness to Diamant, what I would like to do is actually simulate leveling him up 4 times. So it is true, after doing some XP tests, that Timerra is +4 levels on this Diamant. So let's give him tonics to simulate him leveling up 4 times. Most of his growths on his class are at 50%, which means that if he leveled up 4 times, he would be +2 to most of his stats. Not all of his stats, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and give him a tonic for each thing. So he'll get a res tonic, even though he realistically would be +1 res after 3 level ups, maybe 2. I'll give him defense. He definitely would be +2 defense, +2 speed, +2 dex. He would not be +2 dex because he's at cap, so keep that in mind. And then +2 strength. So I'm actually boosting him beyond what he'd be at. He definitely would be +2 HP. And also, to refute the arguments that Timerra was speed winged, that is physically impossible because they are right here. They are right there. So let's put that to bed. She was not speed winged. All right, she doesn't need it. On all of my runs, I don't think I've ever used a speed wing on her. Okay, so right now she is not tonicked. So effect +5 from her passive. The support and the effect +10, that's just the 5 speed. And then emblem, so no defense tonic, nothing else, no speed tonic. All right, so he is functionally the same level as her now. Let's see what he can do. So we'll engage on him. Now, obviously, I would like to use like one of these weapons, or especially like the tomahawk, because it has better might. Ragnell isn't bad though, and it also does give you defense +5. So, and it gives you a little bit of crit. So it's pretty good. It's a really good weapon, honestly, when you can use it well. All right, so here we go. Let's see what result we get. He could trigger soul. He could heal. That can sustain him. It's unfortunate his dex cap is so low, because if he had like 30 dex, soul would become super reliable. All right, here we go. So he misses. It's 50-50. He has low accuracy. He has a low dex cap. It's unavoidable, right? You have to hit engrave his weapon. All right, so he gets smashed here. All right, takes 13. Now this is with half damage. He takes 13. He did kill that. He would have killed that off of might anyways. Now this one, he could crit. All right, he triggered a soul crit. That's huge. So his aspect of RNG in this case is triggering crits and triggering soul. And Timerra's is triggering sandstorm. So this result is decent, I would say. He was able to kill the mages, put damage on this, and put some damage on this. He also healed. He triggered soul more than he should have, which will happen. Sometimes it won't trigger, sometimes it will. But this result is okay. Putting damage on these would have been nice. All right, now let's try the same thing with Timerra. Oh, I could have just paused. I don't know why I retried. All right, whatever. We're retrying, I guess. Takes an extra like 10 seconds. Now, is Diamant a good tank? I feel like he could be on a different class. Like, I don't think he's a bad tank. In general, this tank build is fine. It's serviceable. I've definitely run better tanks. I actually prefer a Marin tank, even though it takes more damage, just because it's more accurate and it always puts poison, even if it misses. But I found the Marin tank to be better. All right, so Timerra. So she'll be on Binding Blade. All right. So let's just see what she does. Now, depending on sandstorm triggers, she may or may not kill the sword masters or put huge damage on them, but she should at least hit them. She's just more accurate at base. She has higher dex growth and cap. All right, so she hits for 21. So she put that at 66. She put that at 66. So she guaranteed hits both of those. She got smashed away from that axe enemy. I actually want to see her fight the tomahawk. Okay, so she almost kills that. Now, if I strength tonic her, she kills, so something to consider. Okay, and she almost kills that. Now, Diamant did trigger soul when it mattered, and he got crits when it mattered, and she did not trigger a single sandstorm. So the randomness of both of their passives can lead to different results. So let's retry. Actually, let's do this. Let's see what kind of result he gets with new RNG just to compare. And we'll do one more test with her.
Let's go.
Okay. Because he could hit, he could crit in certain situations. We'll see. Now, if I had to pick one, I would rather have the Timerra tank because it's more consistent for damage. Yeah, like this is... Him missing here is just kind of like not fun. He misses... Without hit engraving, he's very inaccurate. Alright, so he gets smashed. Alright, so this time he didn't trigger soul. Let's see, he triggers. He could crit here. He will kill. If he hits. Yeah, so he kills that. Note that he barely kills that, though. He kills that with 2 damage. Alright, then this one, he crit previously. So he didn't crit this time. He hasn't triggered soul yet. There's still an axe enemy. He could trigger soul here. He could crit and trigger soul. Alright, so he didn't get any soul triggers this time. She didn't get any sandstorm triggers. I wonder if the triggers are RNG based. Like if they're predetermined. Because she didn't get any sandstorms and he didn't get any souls. So I wonder if that's interlinked. That's an interesting... That would be interesting if it was. Because like crits are... So like if there's a crit in the RNG chain, it's stored even if it's like 3%. So like if you can store crits and then make use of those like by turn wheeling, I wonder if you can do the same for like passive triggers. That's actually kind of cool. I don't think Diamant's a bad unit, by the way. Like I know some people always think that I'm like talking trash or whatever. I don't think he's a bad unit. I think he's like serviceable. Like he's definitely better than some things. He's definitely better than things like Boucheron and Saline and all these things. All right, so
let's do this.
Let's have her go again to see what she gets. Depending on if she sandstorms or not can be the difference between getting kills here. Now if I can just strength tonic her and she'll kill those mages. Guaranteed. I think she doubles both of them too, whereas he only doubles the one. Alright, so oh my god, a sandstorm crit. This is why I think she's better, because she can just turn nothing into a kill. Look at this. Here, oh, okay, she got knocked back. This is the result we want. She just has to sandstorm or crit here to kill. Alright, there's a sandstorm. Now let's see if he triggers soul this many times. This is what I'm curious about. Alright, so she killed 2 and the other 2 are almost dead. And she hasn't taken that much damage on Roy. Roy just keeps you alive when you are to die. And very few builds I've seen even use Binding Blade, but it is obviously really good. Alright, let's try him out with the same RNG. Let's see if he triggers soul as much as she triggered Sandstorm here.
I'm ready.
Now he could Great Aether. That's another thing he could do. Like, keep that in mind too. But obviously, you know, that's if we're just testing general enemy phasing while engaged using Great Aether, that'd be like if she had some build that leveraged an AoE, like if like on Sigurd or something. Because she can Sandstorm kill on Sigurd, and I've had her kill 3 things and trigger 3 Sandstorms. Alright, let's see if he triggers Soul. He got a hit there, that's good. It's 50-50, so it can work out. Alright, he missed. Let's see if he gets Soul triggers on these mages. She got a lot of Sandstorms, so... Alright, he got a crit. So she got a crit earlier too, so that was stored in like the RNG. Alright, second crit. So no Sandstorms, but he got some crits. She got some crits too. So, alright, so it seems that the triggers are random. Or at least maybe character dependent. Or like threshold dependent, but the actual crits. So the stored crits, he got the same stored crits she got. But he did not get a single soul. So even though he killed 2, the others aren't nearly as damaged. Now she did get Sandstorms, and in the previous one he got souls. So like the randomness can affect tanking, but if you play the averages game, Sandstorm is insane, right? Like if you constantly are fighting things, you're just going to be getting kills you have no business getting, and that's really why it's good. Like if you have 5 things attack you, there's a high chance you kill 2 to 3 of them off of Sandstorms. There's a really good chance you at least kill 2 of them off of Sandstorms. And with him, Ike in general gives crit. So like this is just something that gives you crit. But it's funny that they got the same amount of crits, even though she's not even on like I guess technically Binding Blade gives some crit. Yeah, it gives you some crit. So she's like crit 20, 30 roughly. I don't think this gives crit, but she's like crit 16 on that and like crit 26 on this. So she has enough crit that it's like a little bit. But when he doesn't trigger soul, he dies pretty fast. And we compare it, so let's compare health. So he's at 18 out of 67. I'm sorry, let's pulse back. Have her run through the same enemies. I do want to, hold on, I want to, or no, she'll get broken. I want to test killing that axe enemy, but the one guy's gonna smash attack her, unless she, hold on, maybe she, no, I'd have to rely on a crit. Unless she does crit it, we'll find out. It's a little RNG here. I could chain guard here, or like obstruct here, and then chain guard to prevent this. I think this would go first. I basically want her to kill that so she doesn't get broken. I want to see what happens when she fights that axe unit with the tomahawk. So let's hope she kills the thing before it breaks her off of a smash attack. Alright, so here's this guy. Alright, sandstorm crit, instant kill. Sandstorm crits will kill anything it hits. It's insane damage. Alright, sandstorm. Okay, alright, she gets broken. Yeah, now she doesn't kill this and the tomahawk can't hit her. That's what I was worried about. Let's see. It changes things. She ends up with more health than him. That's funny. That's pretty funny. And she almost, because she didn't counterattack this, she didn't damage it, but she almost killed both of these still. That's interesting. I think she's a more consistent unit in general. I don't think it's, you know, I don't think it's that controversial, really. Let's just wrap up with one more of these just to see where she ends up. I think she just ends up with 25 HP. So she ends up with more HP than him, but he has higher HP than her. All right, in this situation, she ends up with 40, and she cannot heal. Jesus Christ. So he ended up... Now, obviously, it's RNG dependent, so let's run it one more time. All right, let's run it one more time. Obviously, she got a lot of sandstorms, some crits that helped her out. So that time she won, like she ended up with way more health than him, killed 2 and almost killed the other 2. Just off of using base Binding Blade. Binding Blade is a crazy weapon. It's very good. It's very strong. I'm always on the lookout for more builds like this, like units who can run like Ike well and Roy well and Erica well and tank very well, because it's hard to find these types of builds. All right, we'll start with Diamant this time. He's already tonicked, so he's already at, you know, his stat increases. All right, let's see what kind of result he gets. We'll just skip it. We'll just like skip both just to see what we end up with. So we'll be able to figure out if he triggered soul or not. All right, so he killed one. He doubled. So the enemy he doubles, he killed. Oh no, he killed both the mages. He hit both of his 50/50s, which is crazy. He put these at 66, 66, killed the mages, and he is at 20 health. So he took 47 damage with 42 defense and 21 res. All right, and then let's pulse. See if we can get a similar position. I want her to get smashed back and then attack the this thing. I want to see what she does to this. It has high defense, so she'll deal chip damage, but if she sandstorms, it hits really hard. I'm curious to see how it plays out, if she can actually fight it. It's RNG depending on how they smash and if she kills the things. No way she killed it. Wait, did she? All right, so it's interesting that the damage is similar on these. So she lost less health than him. He lost, what, 47 health, I think? And she lost 45? Oh, let's look back. It looks like she's, hold on, right? Let's go back. Let's run through the turn. Yeah, let's see. So no sandstorm with either swords. All right, smash back. Or does she? Oh yeah, she fights it, I think. Yeah, she kills this. And then the, yeah, then this, yep. Yeah, so she'll fight it this turn. Takes 8. Her higher res is what's keeping her healthy here. Yeah, and then he fights. Sandstorm, Sandstorm dead. Nice. So she actually took less damage on Roy than Diamant did on Ike. That's crazy. Honestly, she might be better off running Roy than Ike. Because this build is so cheap to make. I'm pretty sure it just costs 4k SP. The only thing that's like annoying about it is getting Resolve Plus, so you have to get high bond rank on Ike, like bond rank 18, but this is a really good build. It doesn't even use any power skills. It's crazy. It's so cheap. Like you could legit run this in well. You could get speed plus 5 for 2k SP and then get resolve, or run speed plus 3 to 4 the entire run and then just get base resolve, and it would be slightly less effective, like slightly lower speed, slightly less tanking, but you could compensate with tonics. But Jesus Christ, dude, this is a good result. Like, you know, assuming, you know, now that they're both tonicked, this is like what they output. Now, obviously, if he enemy phases on Tomahawk, it's slightly more damage, but less tanking. So Ragnell, it's also faster. Ragnell. Oh, maybe the weight of Ragnell's 14. What weighs him down? Let's see, 33, 31. All right, so 33, I think is his base, right? Yeah, so 33 speed right now. So, all right, so this weighs him down by 2. He's 14 build. It is 16 weight. All right, so it's very heavy. Tomahawk, is Tomahawk 17 weight? Jesus Christ. Is that what it is? Is my math right? All right, so in fairness to Diamant, we gave him the tonics. He's now basically functionally the same level as Timerra, running a similar tank build. His results on average are a little bit worse than hers. Against enemies that don't dodge as much, they can be similar, but I did not speed wing her. She is just faster than him. Now, obviously, with Roy, you get more speed, but Roy doesn't really enable tanking. The thing that's enabling tanking here is Timerra's better res, and I'm pretty sure she has at least the same or slightly higher defense than him. But she also has good accuracy, and the sandstorms can push her into kills that he would never get otherwise. So when he was getting kills, he was doubling and one-rounding the mages, which is very standard for physical units to do. Against the swords, not so much. Against other enemies, like against things like this, he has no hope. Like, he's not going to be able to fight these very well. They have 40 defense. He has, like, the thing with Sandstorm is it's 150% of your defense level. That's what it calculates damage off of. So when you're 46 strength, I'll pull up the calculator because my mental math is terrible. 46 times 1.5. So imagine a unit with 69 strength attacking something. You can round it up to 70, so it's not a funny number. But she's basically hitting with 70 strength when she attacks, when a sandstorm triggers. So when she's enemy phasing, even tanks she has no business one-rounding, she can hit basically with, like, you get the weapon might too. So it's like just 70 strength does 30 damage to these. So if you double, that's a kill. That's why Sandstorm's that powerful. It truly is one of the best passives in the game because of how much damage it can deal. So I don't know. I don't care about like unit appearance, personality. Like I don't use Timerra because she's like this cool waifu or something. I use her because she's effective and she gets the job done, and she can run a lot of builds very well on one class, which is absolutely crazy. Like very few units can run multiple emblem rings exceptionally well and carry with them. She can carry on Roy, she can carry on Ike, she can carry on Erica, she can carry on Sigurd, she can carry on Lucina even. I'm pretty sure she could carry on Lynn. Well, maybe not. Lynn actually doesn't really play to her strengths, funny enough. It gives her speed, but it gives her more speed than she wants, and it doesn't help her with base damage at all. So, like, if you ran Lynn, you could run Lance Power, but then she wouldn't be as tanky as she would be on other emblems. Like, even Sigurd is good because it gives her defense and dex. Like, Sigurd is, like, her perfect, her ideal kind of, like, low investment or, like, low competition emblem. He gives build, move, dex, and defense. Those are like her most important stats. So she's really good at making use of emblems that don't matter that much. Now I was considering trying a Leaf build on her. The issue with Leaf, so Leaf gives her build +5 at max bond rank, which is good, but his kit is just, I think his kit is like one of the worst. Like Arm Shield is just super unreliable. Like if you get hit by tomes, it doesn't help. If you get hit by daggers, it doesn't help. If you get hit by bows, it doesn't help. There's a lot of sources of damage that it doesn't mitigate, and it also changes your weapon type. So if you try to run like lance, sword, or axe power, you would probably run lance power and pick it. So like it doesn't matter even if you're on a sword unit, it doesn't matter because the adaptable will change your weapon type. Now you do get +10 crit, which is nice, and there is an argument to be made about the Panette Leaf build, which I think that is her best build. Honestly, I think Panette Leaf is Panette's best build and Leaf's best use case. Because you get crit +10 from her passive, crit +10 from this. You can use this killer axe or just a killer axe in general and get more crits and then engrave it with the crit engraving. And then she can quad hits for good damage because she has high strength. So I think Leaf's best use case is Panette, and you want to keep the bond level low so she can switch between killer axe and a killer bow, both with killer and crit engravings. But Erica, Timerra can make really good use of a lot of things. She can even use Lucina really well. With Lucina, she gets dex and speed fix. So what you would run is, actually I'm not sure. Maybe Lucina isn't even a good thing for her. The dex and the speed are nice, but if you want to kill, well, let's say you don't want to main tank. I guess if you didn't want to main tank with her, you would run this lance power and speed +3 in lance power, because that's probably more than enough. You could run speed +5 to double faster enemies, but this wouldn't be the best use of Lucina for sure. The all-for-one bonus of this is stupid. You're better off getting 100% bonded. But if you wanted to run her as a damage unit, like a pure damage player phase nuke, and not a tank, she could be a really good Lucina user and a really good Lyn user. I don't think there's much else. Erica is weirdly amazing on her. Like this is such a good player phase build that has like off tanking, and then like the Ike and the Roy are like main tank builds. But the funny thing is too, like this build here, the speed +5 resolve plus works with Roy or Erica. So you can run this, you can switch emblems, which is super sick because you can run Erica early on, and then once you get Roy, you give Erica to someone else. So, and it's super low investment too. Like Fencelar is cheap to upgrade, and you can just run like Steel Lance if you want, like Steel Lance +3 with Marth, or nothing, you know, she can probably get away with that. Steel Lance +3 with Marth might be better than Fencelar because you get that extra crit. I think you get +10 more crit, so that way you roll more crits to boost your damage up. But this Brave Lance is enough to one round on Erica if you quad. She is reduced, you know, she does lose some speed from it. She loses 4, so it's a substantial amount. But the things you would be quadding, like it's usually going to be things like that are like tanks anyways. You usually go for quadding on things, but like with with Lunar Brace, you go for quads on things like this, and you would one round these with quadding easily. The Lunar Brace damage scales off of their defense, so it actually hurts, their defense hurts them. So you'd be 30% of 40 times 4 at his base damage. So you're taking 12 damage per hit, so that's 48 damage just from Lunar Brace plus. And if you add in, you know, any base damage, which I don't think there is any, or a single sandstorm as well, that'll kill. One sandstorm triggering plus the Lunar Brace damage will kill these with Brave Lance. So yeah, that's it for this one. I just wanted to update the test, go over, address the concerns. You know, no speed wing. Maybe he didn't get. I'm fairly certain I gave him at least a talisman and a Draco shield, or at least a Draco shield. It's possible I gave them all to her. I can't say for certain. I make so many videos and I'm constantly streaming that I don't have like perfect memory, so maybe I gave them to her, but I definitely didn't use the speed wings because they're still in my inventory. But yeah, thanks for checking this out. Feel free to drop a comment as to what tank builds you like to use and why, because I'm always curious as to what people run, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.